back to another episode of Come Over for Dinner. I'm Bess Hawthorne, and I am joined today by two ladies. I am so excited to have them. Their names are Lavinia Belyavskiy and Mary Spatarel. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Both of these ladies are from Washington, the Tacoma Federal Way area. They attend Veritas Bible Church in Federal Way, and they've driven down for Logos teacher training this week. So I am so excited to get to interview them in person. I have heard great things about both of them, about what amazing hostesses they are and how hospitable they are. And so I can't wait to hear all of their tips and their encouragement, as well as specifically how they do hospitality in their homes and churches. I jump in and just tell us a little bit more about yourselves. I guess we can start with Mary.
Sure, yes. So I'm expecting our baby number 6 this summer.
How exciting.
Yeah. And we're having our second girl. So it's
4 boys
deal,
and 2
yes.
girls. I'm sure that sister is very thrilled.
Yeah. So my daughter is 3, and we told her that she was going to have a sister, and she just started crying. And she's like, I don't want a sister. I want a girl. Because she had no concept of whatsoever what a sister is.
Right.
She only has brothers.
That's wonderful.
I'm like, yes, the Lord will answer that prayer. You are having a girl.
Okay, well, before you keep going, I hate to jump in, but that reminds me of a really funny story. When my daughter found out, we have 4 boys and 1 girl, just one girl. She wanted a sister. And then we somehow started talking about whether they'd have to where the baby would sleep. And I said, well, in our room to start off, and then she would move into your room. And all of a sudden, she's like, I want a brother.
I don't want to share my room.
I think I want a brother. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It was really funny.
I love that.
Anyway, back to you. You're having your 6th child.
And we've been homeschooling. My oldest is 11, so we're here for the Logos training. And that's been great. I'm also a pastor's wife. We have a church plant, Veritas Bible Church in Federal Way, that we have been a part of for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, just wearing many hats.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what about you, Lavinia?
Well, I have 4 kids. My oldest is 15, and then I have a 2-year-old. So they're all different ages. We're part of Veritas Bible Church as well. And I also homeschool, I think, for the past 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here for the Logos training for the first time, and it's been amazing.
And this is the first time she's away from...
Yes, from all my kids. So this has been...
So it's been an adventure for me having to deal with her.
I know. I was at her house and I said, I think I feel nauseous.
I'm sure they're in very capable hands.
They are, but I don't know. I've never left.
Yes, it is hard because you imagine all of the things that are missing, the things that you would be doing if you were there. Yeah. And in the end, they're having a high old time. I mean, you're missing them more than they're missing you.
I think so. I really do think so. Even though they're not telling me that. They're like, oh, we miss you. I'm like, sure.
Well, let's jump into the types of hospitality you do. I know that both of you work alongside each other for events at the church, doing women's seminars and meals for families in need. Tell me a little bit about the hospitality you do.
So being in ministry, we do host all kinds of people that come through our door. So a lot of times it's friends and family, and then it's just very random people that we're trying to get to know. So yeah, there's lots of people that come through our door that we will practice hospitality in our house. But then a lot of times it is also organizing things for the church and having different kinds of events and bigger time hospitality. And we are blessed by having a lot of women that are ready to jump in and help out. Mm-hmm. So church potlucks are usually known for being a sad little place that nobody wants to go to, right? But that does not
at your
happen
church.
at Veritas Bible Church.
No, Nicole knows exactly how to make a plan of the biggest meals ever. We're like, sure.
Everybody sets aside time on their calendar to make sure they're there.
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. Anything else you would add to that?
Well, our hospitality looks a little bit different than what Mary's and Dimitri looks like, just because the way my husband's job is. But he'll randomly call me and say, hey, we're having people over. And I'll be like, all right.
Okay.
Sure, no problem. Have them over. And then I'll tell the kids, okay, quickly, everybody clean up. And I'll just make whatever we have in our fridge because he just calls me. Like, people are coming over.
Do you typically make extra anyway, since you have a family thinking about leftovers? And then if people are coming, you just say, okay, well, we have extra. We won't have leftovers tomorrow. I'll make something else.
If I do have leftovers, then that's great. But there are a lot of times when we have nothing prepared for dinner. So we're waiting for Dad to grill the chicken.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, we have extra chicken. You'll just have to grill more.
That's a good idea, is doing something on the grill, because then you can quickly make some sides.
Yes.
Or have like a taco bar or something where it's just some things you're pulling out. What kind of plan do you typically have? Do you have anything in mind that you often go to?
Well, if we're going to grill the meats, I'll just have mashed potatoes or pasta and then a salad. Just
That's
easy
good.
salad.
Yeah.
Caesar or tomato and cucumber and onion salad. Not a lot of people like feta, so I'll just put the feta on the side. If you like it, throw it in. If you don't, that's okay.
Speaking of your accent, which we're not speaking of your accent, but where are you from?
Well, I was born in Moldova,
Okay.
and I migrated to Romania. And so I lived there for the longest time. Let's see.
Were you 11 when you came here?
Yeah, I was 11, but I moved back to Moldova for 2 years, and then I came here.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm just so glad you brought that up because she thinks she doesn't have an accent. I'm like, yes, you do, girlfriend.
It's the same with the Southern accent. I don't hear it. And then one time, I mean, lots of people have commented here and there, and maybe I'll lose it after being in the North for a while. But one time I was traveling with my oldest son, pregnant with the second one, I think, years and years ago. And we were going down an escalator, and a couple of guys going up the escalator on the other side turned around and said, "Where are you from?" I had just been chattering to my son who was traveling with me. I don't know what I said. Texas, Arkansas, who knows?
You're
And they're
definitely
like,
not from here.
right.
Yeah.
Like, we love your accent.
yeah, I was asked today at the training, where are you from? And I'm like,
So is Moldova a neighboring country to Romania?
yeah,
Okay.
they're like right next to each other. Mm-hmm.
I met people from Romania in Germany when I was a teenager. I went on a teen missions trip, and one of the places we worked at a camp in Eastern Germany, and there were youth from 7 different countries, and one was from Romania, or one of the countries was Romania. And I'm pretty sure that the wooden statue that I have, it was of an eagle. I think it was carved by a young man from Romania. Pretty sure he was from Romania. He brought them and was selling them. Well, I say it was him. I think his grandpa or somebody had carved them, and he had just the most amazing animals. And I just picked one, and I think I paid $5 for it.
Carved or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's on my bookshelf, and I still have it. And later I thought, it was only $5 and $5 American dollars at the time. They thought it was just a lot of money. And I thought, well, this is hardly any money for something like this. And I thought later, why didn't I buy a few more things? It was just really unique and beautiful. Okay. So I'm sure that Moldova has formed some of your food preferences and cooking. Did you move with your family? Like, did you learn from your mom, grandma, that sort of heritage?
Yes. Yeah, I moved here with my dad. My mom still lives in Romania. The food, yes, it's partially from the Slavic culture. And then a lot of it I'm trying to make.
We just had a great laugh with her because oftentimes when I ask her for her recipe, like she just makes the most wonderful borscht.
I can imagine.
And I'm like, how did you make that? She's like, well, you throw all of this in, some of that and some of that. I'm like, no. I need precision here.
Right now, I tried my best. I sent her a text, and I really tried my best. I just kind of was, thinking, well, how much is this? Maybe a tablespoon?
Yeah, right. You haven't written it down.
Yeah.
No.
You'll have to be one of those people that somebody stands behind as they cook, and they're madly jaunting in their notebook how much everything is, so they can actually recreate your recipes.
I wish I could tell you exactly, like specifically how much I'm using. I can't. I just take it and I throw it in and I taste it and I'm like, okay, it needs more.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
That's a really great way to cook.
She's that way with all of her recipes. I'm like, our next step would be having your 17-year-old record the actual measurements for me, send it over. Yeah.
Make a cookbook. Now, is your husband from there as well, or did he grow up with those sorts of food, or did he grow up in America?
Yes, he grew up there. He also came here when he was 11. So we
Okay.
both migrated.
Okay.
And Slavic food is kind of what we grew up on. And then
He does make an excellent dish, though. It's called Mama Liga. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's made out of cornmeal. Is that what it is? So it's like a giant pot of just cooked cornmeal. And you top it off with fried chicken and sauteed onions,
yeah.
lots of feta,
Mhm.
and sour cream.
Yes.
And it's a traditional Moldovan food.
It's like a polenta cake, I guess you could say, right?
It doesn't sound good.
That
But
sounds
all
good
of
to
those
me.
flavors on your plate
Yeah.
are delicious.
Okay, now we need that recipe.
Yeah.
Someone is going to have to record the measurements.
We'll just really have to Google this one.
I love cornmeal. Being from the South, we make, well, I know everyone makes cornbread. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I think here it's more of a sweet version, but in the Southern cornbread is not, it has a tablespoon of sugar, but not a half a cup. It's more of a savory accompaniment. But I definitely think cornbread or cornmeal is delicious in dishes. So I would love to try it. So Mary, I feel like you have a slight accent as well.
Yeah. Well, unlike my friend, I am actually not in denial that I do. I have embraced it.
Okay, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Ukraine, and I came here to the States when I was 11 with my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both of you from at 11. What a unique background.
Yeah. So I grew up on a fully sustainable farm back in Ukraine. It was just rough because my parents had no way of providing anything other than the food that they were placing on the table. So we came here for a better opportunity for my dad to be able to actually financially provide for his family and for his children to have a better education. Yeah.
I can understand that. What does your dad do for work?
So he's retired now, but he used to do long haul driving.
Okay.
And he really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Like getting to see,
Country.
the promised land.
Do you have family back in Ukraine? I know you said your immediate family came over, but grandparents, uncles, cousins.
So we have a few cousins still there. Yeah.
And are they involved with the current war?
Yes. So some of them are still there, but most of them have immigrated here since the war started.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just such a rough time to be from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And to have family back there or friends even, just having to hear all the stories that are happening right now.
Yeah.
What is a favorite menu you might choose to serve when you're having people over to your homes? And you can do 2 different menus if you'd like, since I know you obviously each have your own home and different heritages. I mean, I'm guessing that yours is very different than Ukrainian. Or do they have
There's
some
a lot
crossover?
of overlap. I feel like with Soviet Union, right, taking over all of those countries, so like Ukraine, Moldova.
There's a lot of similarities.
There's a lot of similarities.
Okay.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay, well, let's start with Lavinia. Lavinia, what's one of your favorite things that you might serve besides the cornmeal recipe that we have to have? We have to know how to make.
Well, I like to make stuffed bell peppers. I feel like that's a win-win for
They're
kids.
delicious.
For kids and adults. And they're actually easy
They're
to
so
make.
healthy.
And another meal will be the creamy potatoes with meatballs. I feel like that's also very easy to make. And it's something that you can serve quickly. So you don't have to prep too much.
Yes. So the creamy potatoes and meatballs, I'm guessing you make everything from scratch.
I do.
Are your meatballs different than just ground beef meatballs?
I use chicken and turkey.
Okay.
Yeah. And I use, it might sound really weird. I don't know if people put mayo in their, ground meats, but I put a spoon.
Slavic people love mayo on everything.
I love mayo.
Yeah.
And maybe not on everything, but I can get behind this recipe.
So I had no idea, but my mom told me, she said, put a spoon of mayo in your ground meats and it will make it more juicy. And I said, all right.
Okay.
They're not going to be as dry. So I tried it and the kids loved it. So now I just add mayo to all of my meatballs.
Okay, I'm going to have to try that with my
Yeah.
favorite meatball recipe.
Try it
Just
and
put
actually
a
let me know how you like it.
tablespoon in there. I will, because I have it on my menu plan that I'm going to make meatballs next week. So what opportune timing. Okay, so would you serve the stuffed bell peppers with the meatballs and potatoes, or is that those are two separate ideas?
Separate ideas. These are my to-go meals. If I am hosting and I actually know exactly when somebody's coming over. So if we planned a hospitality dinner, it wasn't anything like last minute, then I can actually, I'll go to the store and buy the bell peppers and prep everything. But if my husband calls me and says, hey, we're having company over, I'm like, all righty, we'll do with whatever we have.
Right. Exactly. What sides do you serve with these meals?
Usually salads, cabbage salad. It's like a Slavic cabbage salad with cucumbers and
The freshly shredded cabbage
shredded.
salad.
Yeah. And onion in it and a little bit of apple cider vinegar and oil.
Wow,
Yeah.
that sounds very healthy as well.
Mary,
Similar to our coleslaw.
Something. It just doesn't have does the coleslaw
Coleslaw has mayonnaise.
Yeah. This one doesn't. So it's just.
Which is shocking. You would think we would throw mayonnaise in there too, but we don't.
Not a tablespoon of mayonnaise here.
No.
And then any favorite desserts?
Crepes. We do like to make crepes. I make them with
Condensed milk crepes.
condensed milk, yes. And I use
Is that in the batter or drizzle on top after
drizzled
you're
on
done?
top. The filling is very interesting. It has cream cheese in it and farmer's cheese and powdered sugar and vanilla. So it's very sweet. And if you want to drizzle the condensed milk, you can. But sometimes I'll put that on the side just because I don't know how sweet people like their sweets to be. Other than that, I kind of let the kids pick the desserts. I'll just ask them, what do you guys want? So then if we have kids over, I'm sure they love ice cream and anything chocolate and candy.
Yeah, those are great ideas. What about you, Mary? What's your favorite menu to serve?
I don't know that I have a favorite. I just love a wide variety of different kind of foods. And so sometimes it's a hit or a miss. And my husband's always like, stick to what you're good at when we're having people over.
Right. Don't experiment on company.
Yeah. So if we're having a large company, then I like to do something that's more of a bar or a bowl that people can build upon. And it's easy to go out and get seconds or even third for some people. I love making chicken gyros. I have a great recipe for marinating the meat. It takes a while, so you have to plan ahead. I love making my own pita bread, all of the fixings, like the tzatziki sauce. And it's very versatile.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. So I love doing that. I also love a lot of Asian food. I love all the strong flavors with like lots of lime and heat in them.
Is that something you find in Ukraine, or is that something you took up once you moved here? Your family was discovering from after immigrating.
And my kids love lots of noodles. So anything with noodle dishes.
Fills them up.
Yeah. And I feel like Asian food does have a lot of noodles. So we'll make shrimp pad thai and, just a giant pot of that or any kind of stir fry. So I'm always thinking, I have 4 boys. My older 3 eat a lot. Like for my oldest, a sandwich is considered a snack.
Right.
So then I'm like, okay, well, I have to feed these people first, right? And we're having company over. So it's always big portions. And I love sending people home with food. So I always cook more than enough and people can take food for lunch tomorrow. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And then if you have extra guests, you have plenty of food.
Yes.
And you're ready for teenagers when your boys hit the teenage years.
I feel like we're there already. And I'm like, my 11-year-old, I'm like, you have to go get a part-time job because this is not sustainable here.
I cannot afford this anymore.
Yeah.
My husband joked when we were in the middle of raising a bunch of teenagers that his paycheck went to Wall Sam's. And that's Walmart / Sam's Club. He's like, my paycheck just goes straight to Wall Sam's.
It's definitely Costco for us.
Yes.
We live 5 minutes away from Costco. And that's kind of dangerous. Yeah.
Costco is our Sam's Club. And where I lived, there wasn't, some places like Dallas, Texas, it's big enough to have both. But where we were, it was just Sam's Club. But my sister in Oregon, when she lived there, she had Costco. And every time I would visit, we would go to Costco.
Yes.
to see all the new and different things they had than Sam's Club.
Yeah, and when you have a lot of kids, going to Costco feels like fine dining.
Oh, it's
You're
so
going
fun.
out, everybody gets the samples and all the things, and then you end the trip with the pizza
Oh,
and their
yes.
ice cream sundaes.
Mhm.
They're just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My boys were totally anti-shopping with mom. Like, it was kind of torture if they had to go try on shoes or pick out new clothes. It was just this thing I had to talk them into, unless it was Sam's Club during sample time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, Mom, I'll go with you.
But then you also get all the looks because you have, 5 kids and everyone wants a sample. And sometimes you get a grouchy lady in the back who's like, okay, come on, move along.
Move along. Your family of 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever has taken up all my samples.
Yeah.
That's funny. Did you mention the sides that you serve? Or you just kind of mentioned sometimes it's a bowl and sometimes there was something else you mentioned.
Well, whatever I do cook, if we're hosting a bigger party, I love to have it sort of like in the bar setting.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's very versatile. People can build upon it, have multiple bowls if they wanted to.
Yeah, that has lots of different components,
Yes.
which would all work well together and work with allergies. Like the bowl type thing or the pitas, that kind of build your own. It lets people avoid things if they have an allergy and
Yes.
put it all on if they don't.
And I also keep a note, like on my notes app, I keep track of people that we host that do have allergies. That way I'm not asking them every time they're coming over.
A good idea.
And there are certain people that are allergic to, 10, 15 different things. And so having things like that available is actually a blessing and less stressful for me because I'm not worrying about having an EpiPen on hand or someone dying at my house.
I want to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite dessert maybe from Ukraine that your family brought with them or something you found in America?
A favorite dessert of mine would be Slavic ice cream.
Okay, tell us about this. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, so you have to go to like a Russian store or a European store.
And where do we find these?
Yeah.
Maybe in big cities?
Yeah. We have a few where we live at.
Really?
Yeah.
So come visit us.
Okay. How far away is Federal Way, by the way, or Tacoma?
It's a good 5.5 hour drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Spokane, which is less than 2 hours, but Tacoma is a bit further.
Yeah.
Is there a
Obviously.
Russian store in Spokane?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a huge Slavic community in Spokane too.
Really?
Yeah.
I will have to Google that. I
Yes.
had no idea. Okay, so visit a Russian store, and then what?
And then you'll just immediately go to the freezer section and they have a variety of different ice creams.
So take a cooler when I go to Spokane.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's, you are now on the back burner.
And they are prepackaged in cones already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they don't sell cones separately. There's no tubs
It's
of ice
just a
cream.
ready-to-go
ready
ice
to go,
cream.
and it's in the
like
packaging.
a drumstick.
Yes, and it's just delicious. It's super creamy. The waffle cones are different than what we have here in the States.
They're not crunchy.
They're not crunchy. They're soft. Yeah, and
And the flavors. What are the flavors?
so it's a classic vanilla flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then chocolate. And sometimes you can get strawberry, but not all the
On
time.
a rare occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something I have to try. Any other recommendations that I have to get it when I go to the Russian store? I mean, if I walk in, definitely heading to the freezer section. What else would you say is like a top recommend? Because I've never been.
Еврейская колбаса. It's a salami, and it's called Jewish salami.
Jewish salami. Yeah.
Yeah, Jewish salami. And it has to be asobaya because there's 2 versions of it. There's one that's very dry, and then there's this one that's actually
So they have a great selection of deli meats. And they don't come prepackaged. So you could get however many pounds you want.
Okay.
And they slice it right there for you, package it for you, and you walk away. Slavics love having these sandwiches, canopies. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's just a little piece of bread with some mayo, a slice of salami, maybe some tomato
or
on
a
it,
cucumber
or a cucumber. And that's like a classic Slavic snack.
with tea. You have to have tea.
All the time.
Really?
There's never bad time for tea.
Okay.
Yeah, all hours
This
of the
reminds
day.
me of the British.
Yes, but no cream in our tea. Just
Okay.
honey.
What kind of tea? Black tea?
A variety of black teas.
Herbal or
not necessarily a lot of herbal except for chamomile, right? Yeah. Fruit teas like strawberry.
Soursop.
Soursop. Have you ever had soursop tea?
No.
Oh, it's delicious.
I've never heard of it.
It's like a Slavic version of green tea, maybe. But you add honey to that.
And is it a tea bag or tea leaves that you steep if I was going to buy it at the Russian store?
Mostly there's a lot of loose leaf, but you can also find maybe tea bags.
Or if not, I mean, it's so easy to order one of those tea, like a ball that's, you put the tea leaves in and steep it.
Yeah.
Like a stainless steel ball. So interesting. I need to branch out on all of the things that I try. You did? Okay. We have to schedule a second meeting as soon as this recording ends. Do either of you have shortcuts or time savers you might use when making the menus you've mentioned?
So we have a deep freezer in the garage and a second fridge in the garage. And I try to have those stocked up on different kinds of meats just in case. We do have last minute people that are stopping by and needing to be fed. But also the best shortcut is you have all these kids that are capable of helping, and everyone loves to be in the kitchen.
Yes.
So everyone's always involved.
That's
and
wonderful.
Chopping stuff, you know.
Absolutely. What about you, Lavinia?
Well, with the meals that I make, like I said, if we have company over and we know that they're coming over this week, I'll prep most of the stuff, like the stuffed bell peppers. I can prep the filling. And for the meatballs, I can prep the ground meat and just have it ready. But I don't tend to prep too much just because I like everything to be fresh. So I have a little hard time on that. Like frozen lasagnas, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
It's not the same as freshly made.
It's not the same. And I struggle with that a lot. I know, Mary, you do a lot of frozen, right?
So
like
we have a few freezer meals on hand for just the very busy days.
Yeah. And I just swing by Russian store and I'll just grab something from there. I know, this sounds silly, but I'm like, okay, pilimeni, it is dumplings.
Well, that sounds great. They do have things that are fast, kind of like a fast food that you can easily eat.
So I just do that. I don't know. My kids also don't like the frozen meals as much, unless it's like chicken nuggets or French fries, but I'm not going to serve that. I'll serve them because they like it.
But you're not going to serve that to your company walking in the door. Yes, and one thing you mentioned to me before that in some of your recipes, they call for canned goods and things like that, and that makes it easy as well. So if you have that in your pantry, are these recipes that you can really quickly pull together at the last minute?
Yeah, I feel like everybody has rice, right? Everybody has canned tomatoes. I'm assuming maybe you have a ground meat somewhere in your fridge, so you can potatoes, heavy whipping cream. I feel like everybody has that, right? I mean, it's something they use in your coffee.
Yes. So if I'm running low, I just automatically order it for the next week, even if I don't have a recipe that I'm for sure using it in, because I know I'll use it at some point.
I think the only thing that you won't have a lot of is the bell peppers themselves, because you do need a lot of them, like maybe 10, 12.
And you want them fresh.
Yeah. So they can be not fresh.
Before we move forward, a big thank you to the sponsors for supporting today's episode. Have you ever thought about how much science is involved in cooking? Chemistry, physics, and biology are at play all over your kitchen. On the cutting board, in the mixing bowl, on the stovetop, and in the oven. Inquisicook is on a mission to show students that science can be relevant, fascinating, and delicious, all while teaching an essential life skill. Inquisicook begins with the basics of food science and culinary arts, then adds skills and concepts in a carefully crafted sequence that leads to proficiency. Best of all, the principles can be applied to any cuisine, any available foods, and any dietary restrictions. So when it's time for people to come over for dinner, the options are endless. Visit inquisicook.com to view sample lessons, then check out the recipe gallery to see just how crave-worthy science can be. Okay, what is your best prep tip when you're preparing for company coming over? Do you have anything that you would want to share, whether it's cooking inspiration, a shopping or cleaning tip? We've talked a little bit about a shopping tip, but anything along those lines?
Well, let's see. Just food-wise, I would say try to prep as much as you can. truly don't overstress the food situation, because you're blessing somebody with a meal regardless. And then your heart posture has to be right. You can't just have everybody run around in your house and bully everybody that you're having company, and having your heart posture in the wrong direction and then having company over. My kids are always excited for company. So they're always, how can we help? What can we do? So I just give them little tasks, and I'll just figure out the food as we go.
Do you have any specific places you look for cooking inspiration?
Yeah, natashaskitchen.com has amazing recipes. And she has come up,
she just came out with a cookbook this last year.
And is she from Ukraine?
Yes, I think she is Ukrainian. Yeah. So a lot of her food is Slavic based, but then she also has, a wide variety of different cuisines, I would say.
Oh, that's really fun. I'll have to check her out. Any other tips before we move to Mary?
If you're going to go shopping, grab a list.
That's
Please
a good idea.
Because you'll forget something, and then you come home, or you'll buy other things that you don't need, and then you'll still forget that one thing that's essential for your meal. But I mean, I guess you can tweak it, if anything. But yes, grab your list. And
no one will know if you tweak it.
Yeah.
I sure wouldn't. If I came and ate at your house, I would not know at all what was supposed to be in there.
I already tweaked everything.
That's the beauty of cooking food people never had.
Exactly.
This is exactly what it should taste like, and you'll never know.
Don't tell anyone. So what about you, Mary? Any prep tips that you would share?
I would say also preparing for things to go wrong is a big thing. Especially when you're having a household of your own children and you're hosting other people's children. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Your timer may not go off, or you may have forgotten to set a timer, and here you are with burnt dinner and not losing your joy over it, prioritizing fellowship above the meal that you're having, and just seeing what are the important things that I'm trying to prepare for. Preparing for dishware to be broken. Just some of those practical things that will happen that we could lose joy over as homemakers, right? Because you may have instructed your child to behave really well at the table, and they're being a little rambunctious, and then things are spilled, or, we had 20 wine glasses. We're down to 4 in a very short span of time. Now everyone's drinking from mason jars. I'm like, why haven't we done this before?
They're much more durable.
Yes. So just considering the frames of people that you're hosting, and that the end goal is to have fellowship first and foremost with the people that live in your home. And yes, it's wonderful to practice hospitality to people that are coming in, but the people that you want to bless the most are those in front of you, your children. You want them to walk away knowing that practicing hospitality blesses both the giver and the taker. And you want your people to feel blessed by you through that process of hospitality, not just when they sit down and eat that, meal. And it's far better to have dinner that somewhat is burned, but you have maintained fellowship throughout the whole time, than to have a 5-star dinner, yet you have destroyed everyone in the process, and now we're trying.
They never want to have company again.
Exactly. So you're trying to create a culture that is blessing people within your home, because hospitality is very different than entertaining. And that's where
a good point.
My mindset had to shift, because a lot of our culture that we come from is really big on entertaining. So oftentimes people won't have others over unless they have a perfectly clean home or perfectly set table or whatever. And that's just sort of how I grew up. So I thought I had to have everything straight. And that prevents people from having others over. And it also turns into this competitiveness with other women, because, hey, she had me over and she had that on her table. So now I have to. So looking at scripture and what God calls us to, knowing that hospitality is a command, it's not optional. How can I bless those around me with what I have? And without the competitive spirit.
Right.
Just as a blessing, right? So just growing into that over the years and seeing, hey, Lord, this is what I have. I hope and pray that it blesses you. And God is funny in that way because sometimes you go all out and you think, wow, this is going to be the best. It's really going to bless people. And I had a teenager that came up to me and said, these were not the best cookies.
Oh, dear.
I was like, excuse me, it's a free meal. Okay. And then you have burnt dinner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And people walk away and say, I was so blessed to see how you handled that.
Mm-hmm.
So, we plan things and then God makes things happen. And you're like, I never thought that would bless someone.
Right. And that's a lot of times why we bring up shortcuts or time savers or just easy things. It's not because we don't love making something delicious from our kitchens, but sometimes in order to achieve or make hospitality achievable, we do need to pull out some of the easier things.
Yes.
Because we have little children at home and creating the bread from scratch and the main dish from scratch and the sides and a special 5-star dessert. It's just too much. We just say, okay, I can't do this. I just can't.
Yeah.
So being able to come up with some really easy things or something store-bought like ice cream or somebody's favorite cookies, things like that is totally fun.
And also not being stressed out because the company's almost here and you're not done. Oftentimes people would walk in, I'm like, hey, here's the cutting board. Do you mind helping with that salad? And oftentimes your guests don't mind helping out, finishing, prepping the dinner that you're doing. So not being afraid to ask and also not just sweating by the bullets.
Right. Because
hey,
you're not perfect.
Company is 5 minutes away. You still need a good 45 minutes on that dinner. You tried your best, but you had toddlers and babies that were interrupting. So just saying, hey, hang around here with me in the kitchen, or if you don't mind chopping that salad.
And most guests would love to just jump in, especially if you're behind. They don't mind at all picking up a knife and chopping some lettuce or also, whatever needs to be done.
And the goal was to have a good fellowship with them. And I find that women, us in particular, we bond very differently when we're in the kitchen doing something together. So we had many instances where we're hosting big hospitality, running behind time. People are showing up and I'm like, hey, will you chop this chicken? Can you check on my grill? Just things like that. And
there's a lot of fellowship to be had and working alongside each other.
God is bonding people as that's happening.
Yes, absolutely. Great stories. And a wonderful time of fellowship. It doesn't have to be just sitting down with a wine glass in hand, staring into each other's eyes.
I mean, ideally, I would like that.
That doesn't work for our family.
That does happen too, but sometimes there's the mad scramble to get everything on the table and then serve all the children and clean up the mess, whatever it is. So finding joy in doing it together is a wonderful tip. What is your best advice for showing warm hospitality to those coming into your house? How do you make them feel welcome and just at home?
I would say doing your best that you can and preparing your children for being welcoming. So if there's little kids that are coming in that are not their friends because they're much younger, it's prepping them. Hey, I'm going to be a blessing. I want you guys to engage, in those ways. But also setting the table, I feel like, is a big part that communicates to people, hey, I waited for you. I want you here. You're welcome here. You're not just another check on my list and moving on. So just sort of visually doing things that communicates to people. I want you here. If you're having kids that are coming in that are babies that need a high chair, we keep a second high chair in our garage that we're ready to pull out. We set that up. Just practical things like that, having some maybe extra sippy cups on hand for littles to go. That will communicate to people, hey, no, you are a wanted guest. We want you here.
Yeah, that's wonderful advice. What about you, Lavinia?
Well, I think Mary hit on the point of having people jump in and help you. Like, we always want to make people feel like they're at home. And what I mean by that, like being open-handed with the things that we have. If they have little kids, I'll ask, what's their favorite dessert, or what do they like? What can the kids do for them? Our son has special needs, so we've been in houses where people had his favorite soup, like Nicole does. Nicole will have the faux soup for him in the pantry, and he will go and look for it. And it's something kind that she does for him, and that shows hospitality. So having people come in and just feeling like they're at home. They don't have to be scared to sit on a couch or where can I sit? Where can I stand? Or just welcome, sit down, have tea. Do you want tea? Want coffee? Just being very hospitable in the sense of like engaging them, not asking questions. I know we had families that we don't really know. So asking a lot of questions, I know it feels like an interview, but I'm like, no, I really do want to know who you are.
Sure.
So I think that's kind of...
It shows you're interested in those people.
Yes. So it's not like they're, like Mary said, a checklist. Just check you in and go home. But kids are kids. We don't fuss a lot with my husband over little things. We know things are going to get broken and spilled, and we have kids. We understand. So we're not fussing over, oh, your kid should be only here, or, oh, can you please, like, if we see something, we'll course correct, like, hey, go eat at the table. But most of the time, we're just trying to have a good fellowship and including the kids in it. One thing I don't like is like excluding the kids away, or, oh, you ate, now go away. So having the kids with us.
Or not wanting them at the table with you because they're a little too loud or...
Yeah, we don't like that. So we always include the kids.
Do you mix in children with adults, or do you have a separate children's table, like in the same room, or how do you do that?
We mix the kids with the adults. We'll have everybody at the table.
And I think it also depends maybe on the size of the group that you're hosting.
Yes, that also depends on that. Our groups are not as big. We try to keep it because Paul is sensitive to noise. So if we have a big gathering, like a birthday party, he'll go to his room and try to kind of collect himself. And that's when we have separate tables or more tables or extra chairs. But if we try to keep it minimum, so then we can have fellowship together at the table.
That's wonderful. When you talked a little bit about anticipating people's needs, or at least that was my summary of it, when you're thinking about where they can sit, or would they like tea or coffee, how would you say people could anticipate needs, like say for your family, if people that have a child with special needs? I guess sometimes we would think, well, should I ask? Should I not ask? Do this? Should I make it a point, like allergies, to ask about their child? So would you say that that's helpful, or no? Just be friendly and warm, or should they ask, what does he need? What does he eat? Or how would you approach that?
Well, I come from a culture where disability was frowned upon, and we didn't talk about it until later, until we understood that this is God's blessing. And being open now about it and being in a community where he is accepted and loved, we do talk about it. And everybody's welcome to ask us, what does Paul need? Or how can we make him feel comfortable?
How can we best serve him?
So I would say just kind of read your audience. If you see that they are insinuating maybe, or like they talk about it, then do ask. I think for a mom and a dad, that shows that you care a lot, that you want that child to be there. It's not an inconvenience for you, because some children that have autism, for example, they can be on a different spectrum. They can be extremely severe or, high functioning, but they still will act a different way. So maybe they don't want to be in a big group gathering, and it's okay. Like, I'll give an example. When Mary had a birthday party, Paul played as much as he could, and then he just went in the house and sat on the couch, and that was okay with them. They didn't fuss over it, like, oh, why is he here? Why is he not playing? It's okay to give them space. But ask. If they're open about it, do ask. I think it actually shows that you care, and it makes the parents feel at ease and wanting to come over even more. Sometimes they feel anxious going to somebody's house. And
it opens the conversation for them to be able to tell you something.
Yeah.
And it not be a burden.
Yeah.
But tell you this is what is best for him or her, whatever the circumstance is. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
What is your must-have kitchen item, and where can I find it?
It's the garlic press. Honestly.
Which one? There have been a lot of garlic presses spoken about, and I feel like we need to have them all and do it like an America's Test Kitchen sort of testing. What is your favorite?
So I have went through so many garlic presses, and I love
this
garlic.
This is the one.
Yes. Every time a recipe calls for, a clove or two, I'm like, it's a whole head of garlic that's going in.
You also improvise.
Is this from the Ukrainian culture, heavy in garlic?
We love our garlic. We love our raw onions. And so I have broken quite a few garlic presses, and my mom has brought this garlic press from Ukraine. that she bought when she
Don't
was a
tell me
young
we
woman.
can't find it.
You cannot find it, and they don't make them anymore. But this is like serious Soviet tool. That's unbreakable.
Amazing.
And I still have it, and it's just
They
the
don't
best.
make things
I
how they
literally
used
came over to my mom's
to.
house. I'm like, Mom, it would bless me if you just gave this to me.
Right. Just this is my inheritance.
Yeah, literally. And so I'll have to send you a picture of it.
Yes.
But it's just the best.
Send it to me. We'll
Yeah.
post it. I'll put it
Yeah.
on Instagram.
I would like to add to that IKEA. IKEA has really good garlic press.
Oh, really? And
Did you
IKEA
try
is
IKEA? Did it
very
you're treading on thin
inexpensive.
ice here. We may not be friends after this.
Why?
Where does
Because my
Sweden
garlic
stand
press
in
is
all of
up
this?
there, okay?
Isn't IKEA Swedish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they might
I
have
mean,
some.
I do agree.
good
like
ideas
finding
with garlic
like a
presses.
good garlic press is hard, but I did find it at IKEA and I liked it. Maybe I'll just gift you one. Or did you break yours?
No, I have my mom's.
She has her inheritance.
Yeah. Another thing I would say that is not necessarily a kitchen item, but it's board games. And we store them in our
yes.
laundry room that's right next to the kitchen. And they're great for, just after dinner and like different kind of integration between ages and groups of people that you're just trying to get to know, or if it's old friends like Lavinia that's coming over after dinner, you have some time and you're just playing a game if you can, laughing together. And it provides space for also those kids to integrate with adults and maybe new friends that you're inviting that you're just trying to get to know, and it helps cultivate those conversations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite?
We have so many, and it's actually awful because I'm extremely competitive. So I'm like, I have invited you over so that I could beat you and win, and I could go to bed feeling like a winner, and it's great,
Yes.
So we love code names. Have you
Yes.
heard of that one?
Oh, yes. I've played that with my teenagers. Well, 20-year-olds now.
Yeah. Azul is another one. It's like a tile game.
Okay. I don't think I've heard of that one.
So that's a great one. Settlers of Catan.
We have that one.
There are certain people we cannot play with because we will not talk.
It is too much of a competition.
Exactly.
I lost the last time I played. It was recent memory. It still stings.
Yeah. We have families who don't play on Saturday. They're like, we have to take communion on Sunday.
Yes.
And we will not be able to.
They will have sin that they need to confess.
So it's fun because we have, the very little kids, the toddlers, and then we also have kids that are 13 or 11. And it's just a great deal of fun because they do want to be with grown-ups and they want to feel like they're part of whatever you're doing. And so when they're playing games with you,
And they need something to
Yeah,
do. I mean,
yeah.
you have to have something where
And
they
we never
can
let
have
them
an
win.
activity.
yeah, we never let them win.
She doesn't let anybody
No.
win. Let's clarify
Yes.
that.
Let's clarify that.
Yes.
She is going to win. So make
Yes.
sure you're on her team.
Yes.
All right. What about you, Lavinia? What's your favorite kitchen item? Your must have?
You guys, I have to say my coffee machine. It's my espresso. I love coffee, so that is my number one. I even take it camping with me.
She does have a caffeine
How do you
problem.
plug it in?
We have the RV, so I just,
yes.
So in the morning when everybody's asleep,
Oh, absolutely.
I turn on my espresso
I would do
machine.
the same thing.
I'm like, how do people even live with this without it?
Okay, tell us what you have. What's your
It's
favorite
the
one?
Breville, right? Am I pronouncing it correctly? The espresso. It's not the most fanciest one. It's the very simple one. And I bought it on Amazon. It was a birthday gift from my parents. So I was very thankful.
And do you know how to make all the fancy drinks, the Americanos and lattes?
So I do make the fancy drinks, but if you're asking about the art, I'm no good at it. So no art for you.
No art in the cream on
No,
top.
I'll just make you a beautiful cup of coffee and just scribble something. Here you go.
Hey, that would still taste just
Yeah.
as delicious.
And an Instapot. I love Instapots. They're quick meals. Put everything in it, turn it on, and we'll see you in 30 minutes.
And you have a large one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The 10 quarts one. But I'm not sure if they have them any bigger than that. The one that I have, it's an older model. So I actually looked on Amazon for it, and they don't have it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have
So
to
you'll
look for something
buy
similar.
the newer one. Yeah.
They run sales on those a lot. Look at holidays, but I remember especially seeing them at Black Friday and during the Christmas season. So if you're eyeing one, they do go on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any go-to meals that you for sure would say use the Instapot?
Yeah. Beef stew. I would highly recommend for you guys to like fry the meat on a skillet before you, but otherwise it gets stuck to the insert of the Instant Pot. So I just chop everything and I put everything in and I close the lid and I turn it on. I don't do anything else besides just making sure that the meat has like a
sear on it.
Yeah, a sear on it. Otherwise, it just really, it gets stuck. I don't know why. It happened to me twice and it went like burn. It's like, oh my goodness.
I know it says you can saute in that pan, but or the pot, but there's no non-stick element to it.
Yeah.
It's not seasoned in any way. Like I don't know what you use, but I don't know if it could use oil and not stick, but probably not. I feel like the pans on the stovetop would do a better job. All right. Do either of you have a funny story or serious? It doesn't have to be funny. It could be serious.
I have a funny story
to share.
And it actually includes Mary when they came over to our house and Vlad really wanted to wow them with his polenta.
The mamaluga is what he made for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is your husband.
Yes.
Okay,
and
tell us.
It would not come out because
you couldn't get out of the pot. It was like stuck. So you're supposed to cook this cornmeal or polenta in a pot, and then you're supposed to empty the pot fairly quickly, otherwise it'll stick to it. And so he has held it there a little bit too long, and then he was trying to show us how to do it,
waiting
so
for the right
he just kept
moment,
hitting that pot over and over, and nothing was coming out.
And everybody's waiting in anticipation.
And then it sort of like was falling out in little chunks and pieces out, and we're like, that doesn't look as appetizing as you have promised. Overpromise, underdeliver.
Yes, I was like, that is humility. Check right there.
Because he was saying he wouldn't even let her make it.
Yes,
because he makes it the
he
best.
had it down.
Yeah, so we were just laughing like
Pride
the
goes
Lord,
before
the
a
fall.
polenta that just comes rolling out in various pieces. That's pretty great. That reminds me of the pan when you're supposed to oil and the flour and make sure it's just right so that when you flip it over, it just perfectly comes out of the pan and shows the molding on the top. And so many times when I've made those, I've had a bit of a pride check. Something went awry. But your story sounds better.
It was so funny. That. And we have a video. My daughter took a Snapchat video.
And we have pictures documenting the whole thing. Well, we had our phones out because we're anticipating this incredible moment that's about to happen. And then it's just kind of deteriorating before your eyes, and
Oh, it's just priceless that it's on video too. Because a lot of times you say, oh, why didn't we have the video camera out? And to have it.
We do. So every time he gets a little prideful, we're like, behold.
Behold. Is this on your Instagram account?
It's the guy.
We need to play this reel over and over when we need to laugh. Any other stories?
We recently had some elders from our church and their wives over, and my husband wanted to make these incredible steaks. And he's been sort of boasting how he makes really good steaks. And he bought really good cuts of meat from Costco. And so he kept asking the men how they like their steak. And one of our elders in particular likes it rare. Like, it's just a little sear, but he likes it rare, right? And I prefer mine medium rare. So he was like, I'm going to get everybody what they want. And I don't know what happened, but those steaks came out rubbery. Like, they were painful to eat. They were beyond well done.
Oh, no.
And so we just had such a good laugh because I think he set the temperature too high or whatever happened. Maybe he got distracted. But yeah, it was just hilarious. I'm like, I cannot even cut this thing. And you wanted this guy to have his rare.
Everybody's anticipating this great chef moment.
Yeah, so we just have a joke about, the certain couples coming over and they're like, please don't grill for us. We do not want steak.
We'll come as long as there's no steak on the menu.
Yeah. Another one, it's like funny now in retrospect, but 2 years ago, I bought my boys, what are they called? Slingshots for Christmas. I did that. To myself. I don't know what I was thinking.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You were being a fun mom.
All common sense went out the door. Yes. And I was like, this is a great present for my boys. So they were playing in the backyard, setting cans to shoot at over the fence. And one of the rocks flew over the fence, and our sweet neighbor lady was just coming home from work, parking her car, and the rock perfectly landed in her rear view mirror. She thought she was being shot at.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I can imagine.
And so her window was completely shattered. She shows up at my front door with this little rock, her hands shaking, her voice trembling, and she's like, I think this was you guys. I'm like, yes, that was us. That same day, we go out bowling with the kids. It's one of my boys' birthday. We invite another family with boys. So the other family that we invited also had 6 boys. And I didn't know my boys brought their slingshots. Oh. We're at a parking lot at a bowling place. One of my sons pulls out his slingshots from the back pocket. He's like, look what my mom got me. He just takes the rock and slings it up in the air before I could even say anything. Lands on someone else's rear view mirror window. Yeah. And breaks that window.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had an expensive couple of days, and the following day, we're having a family over for dinner. It's summertime, and we're having great fellowship with parents inside. The kids are out on the deck just playing, and the boys are swinging a toy. And it's like a foamy toy, like a sword. And I'm watching them, and then I just hear a crash. And I look over, and I have no window.
What in the world?
But it was like back to back. We had a camping trip planned that year that we had to cancel just because I'm like,
we've been out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on windows.
Yeah, it was just wild, and you can't make it up. But,
no. Those are the stories with having a lot of boys.
Yes.
Maybe some girls out there too, but mostly boys.
So my husband jokes around with my oldest. He's like, you are permanently in debt. You have no money.
You have no money left.
Yeah.
Oh, those are great stories. That reminds me of the time that my son, he was Superman, I think. He was Superman. And our house was a one-story house. It was a ranch-style house. And a friend, not really sure because I wasn't out there, if the friend was egging him on in a good way or a bad, I mean, obviously he's bad overall, but like, was he really, they were both on the same page, or was he wanting them to jump off the roof and pretend to be Superman because he was making fun of him?
Oh, no.
I don't know. Regardless, my oldest, he was not one to stand down to a challenge. So if someone said, jump off the roof, he has a Superman cape on or whatever.
How could you not?
Can you not? He's going to make the landing. So yes, I took him to the doctor and had an ankle x-rayed, and thankfully he was fine. It just took a couple weeks for him to get over the sprain, but we have lots of boy stories like that.
And are your boys pretty close in age?
They are.
Okay.
They're very close in age. And so we finally, somewhere in the young teenage years, we finally sat down with them because we had had a little series of broken bones. We're like, listen, the next one of you that breaks a bone or breaks each other's bone, it's coming out of your savings account. We are done.
Yeah.
We are done.
Yeah, we have 3 boys that are really close in age. They were, born 3 and under. So they egg each other on. And when they were little, we had back-to-back ER trips for different kids, for different stitches. Mm-hmm. And I remember walking in through the ER, knowing everyone by name and asking, like, hey, where's my punch card?
Yes. We had friends that 2 of my boys ended up with rocks in the back of their head, which if anybody knows about head wounds, it's very vascular. Blood just looks like, if you're not used to it, I mean, obviously it could be bad, but these were not bad. It looks terrible because there's so much blood, but that was just their friends hitting them. And it wasn't even each other. Just boys who, were the whole rock situation, just throwing rocks and not realizing that's pretty dangerous if someone's in front of you or kneeling down. Or one was at a lake and they were trying to make the water. Well, instead they got the boy who's at the water fishing, which was my son. And we did multiple ER runs as well.
Yeah, so
quite
before
the time.
We have company over, my husband always sits the boys down and he's like,
the pep talk.
Yep. And he says, you're going to be tempted to be dumb. Do not be dumb.
No time to be dumb.
Right.
So it's just funny because the way that he'll talk, to the boys is very different than he would talk to my 3-year-old daughter.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
And having her has just been an immense blessing because I had the 3 boys and then we had an age gap and then I had this girl. and it's the first child that's not trying to actively die. I'm like, you can actually sit and play? What?
What is this new thing?
Yeah. So
yeah, we learned the pep talk way too late. I now that you're saying it, I'm like, why didn't we do that? Why didn't every time we anticipate when friends come over and you're all acting wild?
And you can even see it in their eyes, like as certain boys are approaching, you can see
like,
the reason leaving their body. And you're like, eye contact, eyes on me.
Oh, yes. The plans start to form and the wars that they're going to create. And there were airsoft guns, and we did have pep talks about the eye goggles. And then the lake scenes, there were times when boys would want to be survivors on islands by themselves.
Yes.
Or, they had these competitions. And I should ask my son that lives here, Lex.
Oh, man, the games that they would just play come up.
They had some competition that they didn't last on very long because it involved no food, and a story about showing up at camp at 4 a.m. to get keys and going to town for a donut run.
Wow. And I assume they're older at
Yes, they were older.
Okay.
They were teenagers, a group of guys. They were 2 different teams, and they were only allowed like 5 items, and only one team had caught a fish, and everybody else was starving, and it rained, and it was just pure misery, which of course is the greatest memories. They just still talk about it, but there was a very early morning donut run.
So it's always just figuring out how to channel that in good, productive ways, right?
Yes.
We would always ask our kids, hey, we're having a new family.
Yes.
We don't know what their kids are like. Let's not scare them away.
Right.
Okay. The moment this new family is coming through the door, the boys are like, hey, girls, you guys want to go play human sacrifice outside? Like, oh my word.
The girls are running and hiding, crying.
Yeah. And I'm like, we're homeschooling some of our history lessons.
Let's put
Boys,
this into
not
context.
appropriate.
Yeah.
And then we pray that God just keeps them alive.
Yes. I'm like, what sort of games are we playing?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, great stories, great memories. Well, thank you both for coming on, and thank you so much for sharing all of your encouragement, your wisdom, all of the recipes that you have made over the years. I appreciate it so much, and this will be such a fun episode for the listeners.
Thank you so much for having us. We had a great time.
Thank you.
Until next time, bye for now. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow the show and leave a review. It helps new people be able to find the podcast. And if you enjoyed this conversation especially, be sure to share it with a friend. Thank you for your time.